We're live. Does the mic work? That's the question. Hello. Oh, the mic does work. I don't like this camera very much. Should get the There we go. Put a little point on the throwing knife and taper the handle in some. Not enough beer. I mean, for the amount of viewers, it's a perfect amount of beer. Ooh, this is going to take a while to heat that up. There we go. Drawn out, not bad. Straighten the blade out. There we go. Not too shabby. Hey, let's see how this moves. I don't think it's gonna. Not sure what kind of material that is. That's got it out of a scrap bin, but it's kind of hateful. Feels like stainless. It's pretty heavy. It's not hurting the hammer. Oh, let's cut that knife off. that about right there. There we go. Go back in for another heat. That won't be too bad. There we go. And that'll be ready for a grind. Really, what I got to clean up is the end of it. I don't know if that shows it or not. But the end gets all jagged when you do the cutoff. And that's easy enough to grind away. So we'll do that. But for now, I'm not grinding. So drop it on the ground. On to the next. And back to the knife. Taper it out. Flatten it. Taper the other side. Flatten it. Wash, rinse, and repeat. This stuff is solid. It will make a drift, that's for sure. I am in need of a drift because I lost mine. I actually don't know where it is. Happens. The definition of lost. Not knowing where it is. Back right there. All right, back to the knife. So we're on the drawing it out to a point, and then we flatten her out. I'll drop that down a little bit there. So we start bringing it to a point about like so. Not bad. It is easily the fastest way to whip out a throwing knife. There's just nothing to it. Yeah, something like that. We'll throw it back in the fire. Go back to the drift here, which is just miserable steel. Whatever it is, it should make a perfect drift. I'm going with stainless. That's my thought process. It doesn't even sound like it's hot when you tap it. And as it just starts to get cherry red, which I don't know if this camera shows, but the heat that it's at right now, it's still so hard. And it's barely tapered. Pretty wild. fantastic that this camera absolutely hates how hot that is. Oh, we got to upgrade that. I can't just show a blur off to the camera. But I think it's working though. All right. We'll taper the handle down on this one. Cut her off. All right. Drift for a minute here. Woo, it's hard. Hard metal. There we go. I kind of want to taper that handle a little bit more before I throw that on. A little bit more that way. There we go. Heat it up, cut it off. Just waiting on the metal to get hot. There we go. And the knife is cut off. There we go. Get rid of that cutoff tool. I'll throw that back in the fire. So it's pretty up the edge of that knife. With tongs that I have now misplaced. I'll pretty up the end a little bit. There we go. And that's the next little throwing knife there. Onto the grind. Start tapering the next one. It's like production style. Just keep making throwing knives for days. Well, until I'm out of flat stock. But throwing knives are pretty easy to hammer out. Just taper in the blade, straighten it out, heat it up, do it again, cut it off. Some oil on my hand. Starting to get a drift going on it. Tapering it slowly. But it's cooled off too much. Heat that up, and back to the knife, which this camera cannot handle. My gosh. It doesn't even look like a point, it just looks like a puffball. I wish I had a way to check the sound. Tested it out beforehand. It didn't sound amazing, but it didn't sound terrible. But I ain't got anybody hanging out long to find out if the sound is even working. There we go. It's amazing this camera cannot handle the white hot metal. It's not even white hot though. Like, I guess to the camera it looks like it, but it's not. The propane forge ain't got the power. Should I get that oil on my hands? Done on the hammer too. Yeah, that is barely orange on this camera. It is white. This camera is absolute garbage. I still have this thing? Yeah, it still got sound. How weird. Like, I get that the forge is hot. And I don't know how to make this not look like that. It's just crappy video. Oh well. I guess what it'll do, gives me room to improve, because I did not expect this camera to not be able to pick up on orange hot out of the forge. That should not be as blurry as it is, but it's blurry. There we go. It is neat to see people pop on and then disappear. I didn't expect that. I don't know what I was expecting. But for a first live, whatever. It's like up in the corner, it's like 1, 2, 0, 1, 0. I can't blame you. There's a terrible glare through the screen. I don't know if my sound's working. The little dots at the bottom says it is, but who knows? It'll give me something to look forward to after this is all done. I'll go see what I created. Then I'll probably laugh about it. My assumption. If it's really bad, just delete it and move on with life like it never happened. I've only scarred the 3 people that joined up and saw for a few minutes. There. That's me blowing my nose for those 0 viewers there. All right. Back to the miserable steel. I'll get my big hammer. workout. Forget the forging hammer. Little 3-pounder ain't got it. Bring in the 4. That's my big boy. I like that one. This one should be able to move some metal. Oh, yeah. Should have done that out of the gate. The big hammer. It's actually moving it. God, I like this hammer. Kick your ass, but it's a nice hammer. But the arm feels it. Switch back to the other hammer to pretty it up a little bit. But as far as tapering out the drift goes, that will work. So, not bad. All right. I feel like every time that I grab this tool, somebody appears and then disappears. So I got the cutoff, got the tongs, got the light refractor. I landed that on some rubber, that's always good. Ugh. Whew. Smells like burnt rubber. Gee, wonder why. Yuck. All right. There we go. But on the bright side, it's still orange. Let's straighten it out some. Something to grind off later because I just love grinding. A little more. There. Another knife down. A good chunk of scale. There we go. Back to the drift. Not the drift. Do the knife again. Yep. Maybe it's the forge doing it. Maybe I should just block the forge like I am. Just get the sweat rolling down my back, having the heat on it. Yummy. There we go. A little better. Heater up. To the drift. Blocking the forge. Just gotta straighten this thing out. It's terrible. There we go. Not terrible. Still can't show the piece, but not terrible. Just gotta hope that my next camera is not so bad. At least it's showing up now. Previously it wasn't. That'll give something to taper to. It should be a good punch. All right. Back and fire. Back to the knife. Which doesn't show up at all because it's too hot. crazy to me this camera can't pick that up. Absolutely crazy. But that makes for a good trial run for this camera, which I'll probably never be using again. But not a bad little knife going. We'll cut the handle off about right there. Move on to the next. Grab the cutting tool real fast. Hey, that's all right though. It's cool you're here. So, while you're in the chat, can you actually hear me? Because I have no idea. I'm using a Chromebook and it is awful, awful. So, but yeah, hammer now, just another little throwing knife. 'Tis the season and the kids love the things. So, all right, cool. I'm glad the voice sounds good. The video is awful. It's a Chromebook straight out of, like, I don't know, 1980. It's older than me. Not really, but it's just bad. But what I did not expect is that the metal, when it's orange hot, comes out like a white puffball. That's so terrible. So I gotta upgrade the camera. That's not gonna work. There we go. So cutoff works well, but I am shocked at the quality, the video quality of this camera. It's what it's like. Yeah, exactly. It is like a lightsaber. It wasn't intentional though. I really thought that the camera would be all right, but not at all. Get this out of here so I don't find that with a knuckle. But I figured I would test my luck out and see how a live goes. But I gotta say, I'm disappointed in the camera. Other than that, it's kind of cool. Like, I'm talking to myself while I'm forging, which honestly is not far off the course. I pretty much do that anyway. It's half the reason I started putting a camera on me. But big plans for Christmas? I suspect that you got all kinds of good stuff for the kiddos. I think that's 3/4 of the fun of it. Hey, there you go. See, that's a perfect tool to get. Your wife is kicking ass for you, man. That's awesome. My wife got me a 2x48 grinder over there. I don't know how she knew exactly what I wanted, but it worked out well. Exactly. Yes, 100%. I'm excited about the kids opening their presents, but I gotta say, I am no fan of wrapping presents at all. I told my wife I'm just going to take all of the toys next year and put them in one box and wrap the one box and be done with it. But I suppose that's a cop-out for them. All right. Draw that handle out just a little bit more. My giant lightsaber puffball here that doesn't show up. So just imagine that the end of this is fat and then starts getting skinnier, because that's what's happening. Oh, until I throw it at myself. But I suppose when it's almost at a non-workable heat, it does show up. It's about there. So I gotta ask, what's the first project on the rotary tool? What are we going for? Right, that's the question, isn't it? imagine you got a list. Yeah, you gotta have a list. I'd say detail on the step I just built. Absolutely. It's a beautiful thing about getting a new tool. You have new things to play with and do. I guess I should put an email on here too. I know you'd mentioned you wanted to do a Discord. And that's sweet. I'd just be curious to see what the projects are. I have no idea what kind of steel this is. I was whining about it when I first started. It is so hard. Like, even when it's hot, it just sounds like metal. It doesn't dent. It is impressive. Somehow, it has not dented the hammer, which is shocking. But it's perfect for what its intended purpose is. I want to make it into a drip so I can send it through a piece of metal like a punch. But man, to get there, it's something else. Finally, after a half hour in the forge. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Rebar can be awesome and move like Play-Doh, or it can be absolutely a nightmare. I don't know why there's such a difference. I mean, I know that the quality of rebar is all over the place because there's not a steep standard or a strict standard. But man, some of that stuff is terrible. But like, I was fortunate when you asked to do the snake. That one was easy. Like this rebar moved like jelly. You just tap it and it would just work. I've had other rebar where I just beat on it and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't care. So, and that's whatever this stuff is. But I know this stuff is intended to be awful. I wish I could show you, but like that's all you see. It's just an orange blur. But yeah, rebar is something else. And then like some of the railroad spikes can be really awful too. There's some of them have like a C on them for higher carbon, and man, they're equally miserable. I mean, they're still mild enough steel so they move, but there's definite difference on them. That's where you want a really good pair of tongs because they fly. So maybe without the forge back there, you can kind of see how it's tapered in. But it has taken quite a few heats to get it to that point. I'm surprised. And my glove is starting to burn. So I got the heat to about right here. I only got about 6 inches left on the handle. But I'll do a couple more heats on this thing, then I think I might call it on that. I'm not sure what else I want to make. But I don't know, a 40-minute live ain't bad. And I appreciate you stopping in because I was nervous about all the sound and everything else. I couldn't make sense of if anything was working. Hey, that's perfect, man. The timing is fantastic. You have a good one and Merry Christmas. I hope the kids have a great time. So it's good to see you. I don't think this video is worth checking out. Merry Christmas. Back to it we go. Ooh. I feel like the hammer's loosening up. No way. Another broken hammer? That'd be shocking. Finally got it tapered up nice. Hey, welcome aboard. There we go. And adios. I think I'll put the final taper on that piece. Should call it a night. That'll get it to a grinding state, which will be good. And then I should be able to get a drift out of that. So, hammered out 1, 2, 3, 4 knives and a drift. And I am not going to punish the cutoff tool. Let's take a angle grinder to this and be done with that. Throw it at the grinding wheel, take it to an angle grinder, and then maybe before I angle grind the thing, I might just fit it in the Pritchell hole there. It's so close. So that'll be easy enough. So get this thing cut off and then fit one end of it from there. I think that would work out well. So anyway, at that point, I think I'm going to call it. We'll end the stream. We're at 43 minutes on a first stream with really shitty camera quality. And I appreciate the closed eyes stopped in. That's awesome. So I got to at least get some feedback on if it was working or not. And yeah, we'll call it. Christmas is right around the corner. So Merry Christmas.